Now let's talk about this lock and key hypothesis. ये क्या होती है? Now in front of you, you have a substrate and you have two enzymes, enzyme 1 and enzyme 2. Now by looking at this shape, what do you think this substrate would be complementary to this one or this one? Obviously this one, क्योंकि इसकी shape is complementary to the shape of the substrate. So the reason is enzyme 1 is complementary in shape to the substrate, whereas enzyme 2 is not able to bind to the substrate. They are not complementary. हमने basically इस substrate को break down करना into smaller pieces. And in order to complete that reaction in a faster speed, we need these enzymes. And those enzymes are supposed to be complementary to the shape of those substrate. Now the substrate and enzyme join like a lock and key. इसके अंदर जो lock है, that is the enzyme, and the key is basically the substrate. Abhi I'll show you an animation in which you'll see how a substrate binds to an enzyme. Now once they have binded together, they make a thing known as enzyme substrate complex. इसको हम कहते हैं enzyme substrate complex. When the substrate has finally binded to its complementary enzyme. Again, the word complementary is very important. क्योंकि complementary का क्या मतलब है? Because this substrate cannot bind to this one because they both have a different shape. इसकी squarish सी shape है, तो ये उसके साथ bind नहीं कर सकता. ये वाला complementary था. Now, once the reaction is completed, the substrate has been broken down into two pieces, two products. Enzyme would remain unchanged. Substrate तो change हुआ है, वो yellow color का substrate था, उसके दो products बन गए shown by two different colors. लेकिन enzyme remains the same, ditto same जो वो पहले था शुरू में उतना वैसा ही रहेगा at the end as well. Let me show you a small demonstration of lock and key hypothesis as well. लेकिन इसके अंदर you should know that इसके अंदर कुछ terms हैं जैसे कि active site. Active site क्या होती है? This is known as the active site. So the thing we call as complementary, basically the shape of the enzyme doesn't matter. The shape of the active site matters. क्योंकि active site जो होती है, active site is basically the region where the substrate has to bind. Active site कौन सा region है? Where the substrate comes to bind. Obviously अगर मैं substrate मेरा round shape का है, so the active site of the enzyme should also be a cup shape ताकि वो उस substrate को fill कर ले. This is the substrate and this is the enzyme. ये जो है, this is basically the active site which should be exactly complementary to the shape of the substrate.